And now, 3 rounds of Fade the Noise, bold takes, sharp bets, and guaranteed heat. Introducing first, the hosts, Joe and Eric.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Fade the Noise. I'm your host, Eric. I've got Angel with me, and we're going to kick off episode 41, inching closer to that 50 mark, and I'm excited. I mentioned it before, but I get pumped about, little milestones. Don't know why, but I'll take the positivity and excitement any day of the week. So we've had a pretty crazy week as far as sports goes, not even counting. I'm not going to get into all the NFL trade stuff and rumors so far. We'll dive into it once things settle down a bit. We're going to start off with a little recap of last weekend's UFC card, starting with Moreno versus Kavanaugh. I was personally shocked to see Moreno lose. I don't know. That was a tough one. What do you think, Angel?
Yeah, man. I did not see it going how it went, but Kavanaugh came out and he showed who he is, and he's next man up. Moreno, two-time champ. He's now 4-6 in his last 10 fights. So a lot of questions about his title race after that loss, but I think Kavanaugh is in a pretty good position, and I'm excited to see what is next for him because he surprised me and a lot of people, I'm sure.
Absolutely. I mean, I had never heard of the guy before this fight, and Moreno's good, so that's pretty crazy in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't. We're gonna have to see what they decide to do next with Moreno, because I don't know, to have someone go from like his champ status when he was on top, and then it was a pretty quick decline in my opinion. And then it's just been a mixed bag since.
Agreed.
And then the other one won big money. Your
Hey.
call on Regina Tarin.
Hey, it's my girl. Yes, she made her UFC debut in style at a UFC Fight Night. Unanimous decision win. It was over Lithuania's Ernesta Karakaite, something like that. And I just want to say that girl has one hell of a chin. I did take the finish as well as the money line. We were pretty close to that finish, but this girl would not go down. Regina was throwing left, right hooks. You could tell that she was in camp recently, but all 3 judges scoring the fight in her favor. She's even taking the fight on 3 days' notice, and she put on for her home crowd. The win improved her record to an 8-0 and with 6 finishes. So I'm excited to see what's next in store for Kill Bill.
Good for her, and what a way to show up. You get that opportunity. That's not something that you want to squander ever. Just the way it all came together, and then to show up like you did. But damn, man, that plus money, and I went hard too because you made a convincing argument.
I'm glad we got an underdog because not every day you can win on an underdog. You know what I mean?
And that brings us to tomorrow's card. UFC 326 is stacked. I was telling Angel before the show, this prelim has 3 Codys on it, and they're all good. Like, that's pretty crazy. I don't know. I think it's weird and fun. But it's also crazy to see some of those names as part of the prelims when normally they'd be main card for like a fight night card type situation. So I think the 3 big fights of interest on this one, we're not going to dive into all of them, but Rob Font versus Raul Rojas Jr. and he is minus 270. Rob Font's plus 220. Their total set at 2.5 rounds. It's most likely, well, they're planning on it going to decision, but you never know with Raul. I mean, he's a little grappling monster, and he'll try to submit him. We're going to have to see how he does, because I know he's had a couple of struggles recently, semi-recently.
Yeah, he's only 20 years old, you know? He recently just got his license, so that's how young this dude is. Ready in a 4-fight win streak since his lone loss, all by finish or dominant grappling control, and he's a heavy favorite for a reason. But Rob Font, man, brings crisp boxing, counter-striking, solid takedown defense, and this might be an underdog I might be keeping my eye on because this is a true test for Rosas Jr. But I don't know. I see Rosas grinding out a decision or a late submission win in this, but don't count out Font because he thrives in pure kickboxing exchanges. So I'll be watching that for sure.
Absolutely. And don't forget, hop in the Discord and see what the official play is, because I feel like that's one where if Joe likes what he sees on the Rob Font side and thinks it's going to decision, if you have the bet available to you, that's a good opportunity for a spread as well, point spread by the end. Wait, what license did he just get?
Driver's license to drive a car. Yeah, he's
Oh,
20
wait
years
until
old.
you're
So
20. Who waits that
I
long?
mean, I guess he's one to wait. He says that he had a lot of problems with pedestrians, but now he's passed the test. That's just what I heard him talking about.
Oh, he had a lot of trouble not hitting people.
Yeah. So now he passed. So watch out, pedestrians.
I try to root for that guy. And it's funny that him and Holloway are on the same card because I used to hate Holloway because of his face. And now I love him.
Yeah.
And it's nothing in particular. It's just you see it. Sometimes you're like, I hate your face. And I still feel that way about Rosas, but I'm sure that he was like in his high school classrooms just getting ladies' attention. I mean, he's a professional athlete, so it happens.
But yeah.
And then we also have Baralho versus RDR. We got Mr. De Ritter back. They're both looking for a decisive victory here. I think in RDR's last fight, he lost the belt to Brendan Allen. Surprisingly, at least to me, the odds have Baralho at minus 258, and the total rounds are set at 2.5, which is minus 195. So they're expecting something late or a decision, but I'm still surprised RDR is that much of an underdog.
Yeah, that's definitely an underdog that I might also be hopping on because they're both coming off losses and they both had some pretty impressive win streaks. But I don't know, man. RDR is tough and he will bring the challenge to Barolo, and I don't think he is going to be able to overcome this challenge, but that's just what I think.
Damn. All right. And then main event. It's the BMF title fight. I know that I just read it a lot. Like whenever I'm reading articles about UFC, a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's a belt for the casual fan." I mean, yes, but also who cares? Like you're always pitting badasses against badasses. So at the end of the day, nobody really cares if it's a real belt or not. Like people just want to see really good fights, and that's what this is. It's been 11 years since these dudes fought each other, and it's it's going to be crazy. I'm going to let you break the fight down, but we got Holloway is minus 220 money line. Oliveira is plus 170. The total is set at 2.5 rounds. They're saying over 2.5 is minus 175, which kind of sucks in my opinion. But after seeing the way the first fight ended, granted it was due to injury, it's really hard to say. And we were talking about their performance against Topuria before the show, like how to gauge that, how long each of them lasted before getting finished. So there's a lot to consider for this one. Angel, take it away.
Yeah, man. As you were saying, both of these fighters have got the chance to fight Ilia Topuria, ending very well for both of them. They both got knocked out. Holloway halfway. Actually, Holloway lasted till about round 3. Oliveira lasted about halfway to round 1. So, I mean, I don't know. Holloway put up more of a fight. Who knows? But we're talking about Oliveira and Holloway now. It's been a decade since their first meeting, which ended early due to Oliveira injury. But now this is the real head-to-head test. We got a true classic elite striker versus elite grappler matchup. Holloway's coming in 27-8. Oliveira 36-11. Pretty crazy stat. Holloway has 2 wins by submission, and Oliveira has 22. So if I were Holloway, I'd probably watch out for Oliveira getting him to the ground. When I look at the matchup stats, I'm seeing pretty similar things, but Oliveira does have a 5-inch reach advantage, so that could play a pretty big part. Holloway does have an inch of height on him, but I don't know, man. It's gonna be pretty crazy. We all know Max Holloway's volume and cardio are his biggest weapons. He averages over 7 significant strikes landed per minute and historically ramps up output in the championship rounds. A lot of people don't see the BMF title as a real title, but it's well earned. And I think that it takes a real BMF to hold that. And we've all seen what Holloway can do, especially in the last seconds of any fight. If y'all seen that Justin Gaethje fight, he earned that BMF, and I think he represents it well. His takedown defense is around the low 80% range. He has some footwork and range management that gives him a strong chance to keep the fight standing. Oliveira, he remains the most dangerous submission artist in UFC history, holds the record for most submissions and most finishes. Full if he can create prolonged grappling exchanges. So Do we see this fight on the ground? Do we see this standing? I don't think Oliveira wants to stand with Holloway. I know I wouldn't. I think Oliveira's gonna have to close distance early. He's gonna have to force clinches, scramble before Holloway set in, and he's gonna hunt for the submissions off takedowns. But I think Holloway's gonna keep this fight long and upright. He's gonna pile on that volume. One of these bets I'm looking at is just significant strikes. I'm not sure if Holloway wins by decision or knockout, but I see it going longer than perhaps 2 to 3 rounds. So I'm not sure who you're more of a fan of. I think Oliveira can survive the first 2 rounds at least, and then he's going to start putting on some grappling sequences, and we'll see what he can do with that. But I think Holloway gradually breaks him down late, and then maybe puts a 1-2 on him to finish it. But I like Holloway to at least win money line wise.
Same. And that's a good point about the Gaethje fight. Well, it's not a real belt, but the reason for it though is because of how you finish fights. Like the attitude you take going in, like, fine, all right, this isn't going to cost me the real championship belt.
Right.
And, otherwise, him and Gaethje, they don't do that center of the ring shit in the last 10 seconds. There would be no reason to do it, if it wasn't for the
Legendary.
BMF. And so we know how Holloway fights. We know how he thinks. And he just retired Poirier. So now I'm interested to see how Oliveira handles that, because I know he considers himself a true mixed martial artist. Like, he's like, I'll stand with him. I will. Hopefully that doesn't mean ignore what you're good at, but it means he feels comfortable enough to do that. So I'm curious if he brings any kind of real BMF energy to the matchup, because if he does, odds are a lot higher that he's going to make a mistake and get slept.
Yeah, I just don't think that he wants to get in a striking battle with Holloway, but I think he maybe has been training in his camp for a striking match if that's what it comes down to. Because if he lasts, all 4 rounds in 50 seconds, who knows what happens in that last 10 seconds?
He points to the center of the ring, and instead Oliveira walks up, takes him down, and chokes him out.
Tap. No, I'm here for it. So yeah, we'll see what happens, man. I'm excited. I'll be
That would be
watching
so
every
funny.
fight.
As always, to get the official picks, hop in the Discord. I have no doubt Joe's gonna have something awesome. He loves his big UFC cards. I was gonna say pay-per-view, but not anymore. Something that would have been. Yeah. And so that's it for UFC. We're gonna head on over to NBA. I literally just saw a notification on my phone. Jason Tatum is confirmed making his season debut tonight.
Let's go. My
They're
fantasy
like
team
minus
needs him.
1,000.
Yeah, I feel like they're unfair with Jason Tatum, so I'm interested to see what his minutes restriction looks like, but I'm more interested to see how that Achilles is holding up. But I definitely missed him in the league, and I'm a big Tatum fan. Not a fan of the Celtics, not a fan, but Tatum, big fan.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings, but assuming him and Flag are both active tonight, that'll also be kind of interesting just to see who does what. Although, like you said, it's probably going to be a pretty severe minutes restriction, first game back and all.
Right. I mean, I thought the same thing for Cooper Flag, but he had a pretty big part in last night's game, over about 25 minutes, I think. It can happen.
Yeah, no kidding. First game we're talking is Warriors Thunder. I don't have any odds for that one, so I'll just let you take it away on what you're going to be looking for and any potential angles.
Warriors, Thunder. Yes, sir. Looking at these standings right now, and it's getting pretty close end of the season, Warriors, Thunder. Warriors are about 32 and 30 right now. And the Thunder are 49 and 15. The Warriors, they are coming off an overtime thriller of a win. It was pretty crazy. Definitely saw the end of it, and even without Steph Curry, they're still finding a way to win. They won 115 to 113 on the road against the Houston Rockets. Not an easy team to win, or not an easy team to beat, especially with how good their defense was. But that helped them, and now the record is 32 and 30. In the overtime thriller, they scored 14 points, and it definitely helped by being led by Brandon Podziemski. We all know Curry's still out, and with him being out, they have others to depend on. His last finishing line was 26 points, 9 rebounds, 4 threes. D'Anthony Melton put in about 23 points. Super clutch roll off the bench. Even with rookie Reed Shepherd pouring in 30 points for the Rockets, it wasn't enough. And the win snapped a 2-game losing streak for the Warriors, and now they're back on track, but they face OKC, number 1 in their conference, and SGA, he is back. He just came back last game, and my fantasy team is very happy. Won't talk about that much more, but the Thunder have now won 4 straight coming in, including road wins at Dallas, Chicago, and most recently New York. I think this is pretty tough matchup for both teams. I'm liking Thunder with this matchup, even with Steph Curry out. I think that the Warriors are going to need Podziemski and D'Anthony Melton to do what they did. But OKC's a different team than the Rockets. SGA, man, he's next level. He's probably top 5 in the league, and he's gonna show it. He's gonna show that they need a win, and they're gonna win. And I don't know. I just like the Thunder in this matchup.
Yeah, I don't blame you. They are good and deep. And that's the winning recipe.
Exactly. They're pretty solid home favorites after being minus 6.5 on the spread in recent games, but being heavily favored in all 3 prior meetings this season. On paper, the edge is OKC, of course. Better defense, home court. They dominated the season series, but this spot sets up for a desperation type effort for a Warriors team. They're fighting for middle of the West playoff pack because if this playoff started, they're in that play-in tournament, and no one wants to be in the play-in tournament. So desperation calls, but who will answer?
The Thunder for sure.
Probably SGA will be picking up.
Yeah, the Warriors are kind of a mess. And for the other game we're talking about, this one's happening tonight, so get your bets in if you're going to be playing any of these. We have Knicks and Nuggets. So Knicks are minus 125, Nuggets are plus 105. Total set at 230.5, which, I feel like that's a relatively lower total, but also, these teams have their hot and cold moments, so I think it's probably fair. So what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, man, Knicks and Nuggets, both teams playing in a back-to-back. They just played last night. We just talked about the Knicks. They lost to the Thunder, and they're third in the conference, 40-23. Pretty good record. Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, pretty good leaders in that team, but they're going against the Denver Nuggets, led by the Joker himself, Nikola Jokic. I'm not a big fan of him, although he is super good, probably top 2 in the league. He did just beat my Lakers last night, ending their 3-game win streak. The Nuggets are currently 39-24, and they're right above the Lakers. They beat them last night 120-113. So I think that this is going to be a pretty good clash, both squarely in the top tier of their conferences. But Denver is a small home favorite tonight. This matchup sets up as a legit coin flip because the Knicks have actually had the Nuggets number recently, and Denver is on a back-to-back, like I just said. The Knicks have won the last 3 head-to-head meetings and are 6-1 against the spread in the last 7 versus the Denver Nuggets. I'm not sure what it is about the Knicks, but they seem to turn up the heat against the Nuggets whenever they play, and they're going to need it because Nikola Jokic is rolling with 28.6 points, 12.6 boards, 10.4 assists, and he just logged his 3rd triple-double last night. So when you average a triple-double and you're top 5 in the league, you're dangerous. Even if you think, let's double guard team this guy, triple team this guy, well, guess what? He can pass like no other. He rebounds like no other. And when it comes down to it, he will score. But let's not forget, he is also just a regular human being who commits turnovers. Last night, he had 9 turnovers. You can't do that.
Damn.
Luckily for him, it didn't mean a loss against the Lakers because the Lakers couldn't capitalize. They couldn't score. I don't know what the problem was, even with your 3 big healthy, but won't talk about them much more. I think the Nuggets, they're still shorthanded in the front court. Aaron Gordon hasn't played since January 23rd with the hamstring, but is listed as a possible return tonight. Peyton Watson is also out, which has hurt Denver's defensive versatility. And the Knicks are coming in off some rest, which is why some people are leaning more towards New York than currently small Denver favorite. But I don't know, man. It's tough to choose in this one. I think Jalen Brunson's pick and roll game is a focal point, but Denver's deep drop coverage with Jokic tends to concede the mid-range looks, and I think Brunson is gonna feast on the pick and rolls with Karl Anthony Towns because it's gonna make it tougher for Jokic to help. So I think that Denver's gonna have to bring that high-scoring offense if they want to beat the Knicks. But like I said, the Knicks are like 6-1 in the last 7 against the Nuggets, so I might have to go with my New York Knicks on this one.
Blame you.
Don't count out the Joker though.
Yeah, it's gonna be a toss-up. Hence the odds.
Sure.
All right, cool. Got you. Thank you for the breakdown. That's going to be a game to watch for sure.
Oh yeah.
And that wraps up the games that we're covering for this show, and we're going to head on into the Lock It In segment. I'm going to leave the picks to the professionals. So if you're interested in some of the other guys' opinions, hop in the Discord. They also do free picks. Aaron's still in there. We got Clark and Jules as well. So always welcome to see you guys. And for the show, Angel, lay it on me. What do you like for bets?
What do I like? So I got about 2 or 3 bets for you. My first one is UFC. We got a little parlay action for you. I'm taking DNR, De Ritter. He's gonna win, and I'm gonna pair that with my boy Holloway. I think they both got what it got, and De Ritter's gonna get back in that win column, and Holloway's gonna show why he is the BMF title holder. So we'll be ready to catch those tomorrow. As far as basketball goes, I'm going for the Hornets. They've been on fire recently, and they have a big chance to step towards catching that 8th seed if they can beat the Heat on Friday night. 2 games ahead in the standings, LaMelo and company have won 6 straight games, all of them by double digits. The league is on notice after their 118-89 triumph win at TD Garden earlier this week. One of the big reasons is Concanoopel, one of the rookie leading scorers this season and most likely to win Rookie of the Year. He's already broken the most 3-pointers by a rookie ever. You know what? I'm even going to take the Hornets minus 7.5, which is minus 106 to beat the Heat tonight. So we're going to go with that. And then my last bet is going to be on the Knicks. I feel pretty confident that they beat the Nuggets even after the Nuggets beat the Lakers, but the Knicks have the Nuggets number. Like I said, 6-1 in the last 7. Even overcoming a massive triple-double game from Nikola Jokic in the first meeting at Madison Square Garden, they still won in double overtime. So Denver enters this one having played less than 24 hours ago. Meanwhile, the Knicks had a rest of day. Meanwhile, the Knicks had a day of rest in between games. Despite the loss versus OKC the other day, I'm going to give them a pass on that because it was OKC.
For real.
I'm very encouraged to see what New York has, and I'm going with Jalen Brunson to deliver in this game against the Nuggets. And that's
Hell
what I
yeah,
got.
man. I love it. Thank you so much. Everybody make sure to get your bets in fast because we got some games tonight. Otherwise, fights tomorrow, and hope to see everybody in the Discord. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week. Good luck on your bets. Hope everyone cashes. See ya.
Peace. Go Lakers.